Hello and welcome to the space. Wait, it's not the space between ideas. Hello and welcome to the Dumbfounder Show. This is the show where I'm trying to get myself really smart because I'm founding a business. I'm creating technology. I'm in the loop. And if you are a founder and if you're trying to like get things going, then maybe this is the best way for you too. Create your own Dumbfounder show and be dumb until you know how they are with all these YouTube videos. They're always like you gotta embarrass yourself before you like succeed, which means what? You just have to get yourself out there. So today we are going to do what? Last week we were looking at some Instagram posts, and I want to show you some of these Instagram posts. I thought it was going to be in the rearview mirror, and I thought we were going to talk about some new Instagram posts. But I don't know, something happened. I started talking to some people, and then I was just like, "Hey, look at this. Hey, what do you think of that?" And then suddenly it was like we had the makings of like something valuable. So let's take a look. And then once we finish looking at these Instagram posts, then let's see if we can, I don't know, somehow figure out like what like let's come up with some things that we need to work on. All right, so let's get inspired. Number this out. All right, so the question is this a six-word story? Right? So the question here is quite simple. I mean, maybe you've seen this. Everybody's probably seen this meme. On the left side, we have hoping for luck, and so it means that you're not do the project in order to get lucky. And then on the right side, we got put in the work, and then then you don't have to worry about luck because, of course, you put in all of the work. Right? Good. So the question is this a six-word story? And well, okay. So then the question is, what is a six-word story? Right. So let's take a look at this other wine tastes better. 20 million views. Here it is. Check this out. Sorry, we're having trouble playing this video. Why is that?
Story is to write a compelling story in 6 words or less. Here's an example: for sale, baby shoes, never worn. In a mere 6 words, we have intrigue, we have heartbreak, we have our main character. And today I want to break down another 6 word story, your business one liner. Today is day 13 of 30 days of storytelling secrets you need to know. We often use business one liners to drive sales in places like our landing page, product page, and our Instagram bios. Business one liners are made up of 3 parts. You have a problem plus a solution that equals a result. How does that look in real life? Well, for a beginner, it might look like this. Most designers don't understand marketing. I teach marketing to help you sell yourself without selling your soul. It's blunt. You can clearly see the problem, the solution, and the result.
All right. So he's talking about he uses the concept called a business one liner. So he's basically saying in your Instagram post or like in the top of your Instagram thing, maybe on your website, you have to get the message out very clearly and very quickly. So here, for example, he says, here's the problem. Most designers don't understand marketing. Okay, so if you're a designer, then what he's doing is he's saying, "Hey, do you have this pain point? Do you have the same pain point? Where does it hurt?" So this is the same. You're going to the doctor, and why are you going to see the doctor? Because something hurts, and then they like then they give you the physical. And they say, "Does this hurt?" And you're like, "Yeah, that hurts." Okay, that's the problem. Okay, now what's the solution? Okay, so then the doctor is going to give you some kind of solution based on what they think the problem is, and then finally you get the result. So in this case, it's what to help you sell yourself without selling your soul.
But let's look at an OG like
OG, original gangster, Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs and how he would write a business one liner. 1,000 songs in
1,000 songs in your pocket. So what's that mean? It's this 1,000 pocket. How are you going to get 1,000 songs into your pocket? And then he's like, well, this is how I do it.
your pocket. Here you have the problem, not enough music, but it's not explicitly said, it's implied with 1,000 songs, which is also the solution. And finally, the result in your pocket. While both get the job done, one is far more concise and memorable, which is what we as creatives want a good business one-liner to be. The challenge of a 6 word story is to write a compelling story.
Oh, now we're starting over again. All right, so then we start thinking about, okay, 6 word story. So what we're doing is we're doing storytelling. And then what do you mean storytelling? It means that we need to create posts. All right, let's get back to reality. The reality is that Saturday I made an extra video because I needed to kind of do some organization. For example, we created this thing called a scorecard. Oh my goodness. So this is real. Great. So wait, today's Tuesday. Huh. Okay. That's right now. Like literally, this is right now. This is the thing we need to do right now. Oh, okay. Now the thing is that we have software, so I don't even know why like I'm doing it like this, but like the thing is you have to be able to do it. This is why I started using like Excel spreadsheets, because what I started to realize is that every not every, but like websites are basically spreadsheets. And so if you can do it in a spreadsheet, then you can do it in a website. Okay, so here's our dashboard. Now let's get back to, if you're a founder, then what do you need to do? See, this is what I'm stressing out about. Is because like, okay, here's a question. If you're a founder, what's more important, developing your product or sharing the story about your product? And obviously the answer is that you have to share the story about your product, even if you don't have a product yet. So how do I, like, what am I doing? Like, what is the concept behind their effort that we're doing right now? Well, it's the thing called Qubit Connect. So Qubit Connect, it is a, like, it's basically the brand name for the product that I'm building. This thing is called Qubit Connect Engine, and I'm using this engine in order to be able to create marketing messages. All right, let's take an example. So, for example, we just watched this one video. So I'm gonna pop in the video with this dude, his 6-word story, and then we're gonna put in the transcript. We can start the analysis. Beep bop boop. It's kind of slow apparently. Hey, it worked. All right, so then we got this distilled recipe. All right, let's take a look. So it says, understand the power of concise stories. Learn how to capture a big idea or personal message in just a few impactful words, like a motto, like a life motto. Define your life's purpose statement. Discover how to articulate your personal goals or values clearly and concisely for important moments like college application or personal statements. Structure your core message. Learn the simple framework of problem, solution, desired outcome to build a strong personal statement. Finally, craft your first message. Practice creating straightforward statements about a challenge you face and how you overcome it. All right, that's exactly what we're trying to do now. This is the challenge of the 6-word story. So, and this is the purpose that I built this tool, is because now, oh, there's one more. Refine your maximum impact. Transform your statement into a memorable and inspiring message by making it more concise and thought-provoking. Okay, so what do we do? I don't know. Step number one is, do we want to like expound? Do we want to like go deeper into any of these ideas? For example, understand the power of concise stories. Learn how to capture big ideas and personal messages in just a few impactful words, like a life motto. No, we don't need to do that. In fact, see, this is what I'm talking about. So I would like to be able to actually, like, there should be like a little X here in the top corner, because I want to be able to like knock that out. All right, so now you can see, as a founder, you have two issues. One issue is that I can see that I want to make some changes to my product. Number two is, this is actually a waitlist page. It's not even actually the product. So I also need to be building my product. So I need to change my waitlist page. I need to build my product. But the most important part is posting. I need to be able to improve my ability to create social media messages. All right, now which of these is the most important? So we have options. Okay, option number one, let's say that they say that like 99% of founders are going to fail. And most likely they fail because they lack persistence, stay power. And stay power, it means that you have what? You have the financial capability, and you have the support around you in order to focus on your startup long to get it going. And then the biggest problem with starting up is that you have to pivot a number of times, and like it takes a long time for you to actually realize what is the problem in the market that you're trying to solve. For example, what is the problem in the market I'm trying to solve here? So because basically what we did was we just took the transcript and we put it into a machine. Now, what's another way I can do that? So let's say I put the transcript and I just pop it into my browser. So okay, so it's still the same transcript, and then we go over to Gemini, and I don't know, man. Gemini just seems like it's having super huge issues these days, and I don't know why. All right, so can you read this, clean up the text so I can read it? All right. So now the question is, what's the difference between using an LLM to once I have the transcript and using my tool? Okay, so here we go. So it says the challenge of a 6-word story, compelling story in 6 words or less. Here's an example: for sale, baby shoes, never worn. In a mere 6 words, you have intrigue, we have heartbreak, we have our main character, and today I want to break down another 6-word story. Your business one-liner. Today is day 13. We often use business one-liners to drive sales in places like our landing page, product page, and our Instagram bios. Business one-liners are made up of 3 parts. You have a problem plus a solution that equals a result. How does it look in real life? Well, for a beginner, it might look like this. Most designers don't understand marketing. I teach marketing to help you sell yourself without selling your soul. It's blunt. You can clearly see the problem, the solution, and the result. But let's look at an OG Steve Jobs and how he would write a business one-liner. 1,000 songs in your pocket. Here you have the problem, not enough music, but it's not explicitly said. It's implied with 1,000 songs, which is also the solution. And finally, the result, in your pocket. While both get the job done, one is far more concise and memorable, which is what we see as we creatives want a good business one-liner to be. All right, so what are we going to do here? What are we going to do? All right, now let me show you this other one. So I got this other Instagram.
It's come to my attention that some of you don't understand the basics of a funnel, so choosing what to post feels random instead of strategic. So here's the easiest way to explain how I decide what content to post based on my business goals. First off, I want you to think of your content like layers.
Layers, okay? Layer 1. What's layer 1? Now, I mean, I agree with this idea because I've been thinking about Instagram for a long time, and what I've come to understand is that Instagram is basically 2 things. Either it is education or it is entertainment. All right, so let's take a look. So here it is. So everyone who's a business founder, we're trying to build a system for attracting and converting ideal clients, meaning that you need to understand the current business and marketing activities. You need to map the entire customer journey from discovery to sale. You need to identify key opportunities. But specifically, let's look at this. Look at this. So inspiration and entertainment, explanation and education. When you jump onto Instagram, every time you look at a post, it's either going to be a story or it's going to be a recipe. Okay, so education equals recipe and inspiration equals story. What about this? So in both of the examples that we've seen so far, well, in the first example with the hard work equals winning, is that a story or is that a recipe? I mean, some people, they might say that's a recipe. You have to work hard, and then the result is that you're going to get some success. Other people might say it's a story. A story meaning there's a problem. I need success. And then the solution is more hard work. And then the result is if you work harder, then you'll get a solution. So I would say that the first little meme is probably a story. The second one is a gentleman, and he's talking about what is a business one-liner. So it's actually a recipe. And what about this girl here? Is this
Lives and flash.
all right? So she says the top layer. I think the top layer is talking about stories. So it's more about she even writes stories here. But when she's talking about stories, she's talking about when you click this button here. All right, so we got stories, trends, and day in the life. So all of these things are meant to entertain. These are all stories.
trends that most people would enjoy watching even if they don't know you. It looks super cool and it gets lots of views. That means it's really good if you're trying to grow, but not great if you're trying to sell. If you're trying to sell a product.
All right, so now she flips over and she says, look, the second part of the funnel is like when you're trying to sell. Now, when you're trying to sell, it sounds like, I think it sounds a little bit like a recipe.
You need content that makes people think, okay, this person actually knows what they're talking about.
All right, so how do you share something like you actually, like how do you prove that you actually know what you're talking about? You have to talk about the recipe.
And for that type of trust, we need another layer. Layer 2 is all about authority. It's where you share breakdowns, frameworks, and stories.
All right, so what does it mean to hop down? That is a recipe. Framework, that is a recipe. How to, that is a recipe.
That demonstrate what you know and how you know it. Yes, this content gets fewer views, but the people who do stay to the end are genuinely interested in what you have to say and believe you're the right person to say it. And if that wasn't true, you wouldn't have watched to the end of this video, would you?
Would you? Okay. So now we go back to the original issue that I'm trying to discuss here. One is I have a product and it's a waitlist page, but it's a tool. It's a tool. And I'm saying, hey guys, if you use my tool, then what you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to get the text from a transcript, and then you're going to be able to rewrite that text so that you can use it for your social media. But right now, as you can see, it doesn't, like, the question is, does it do a good enough job? Like, is it as good as the Gemini? So my product right now is it's a text editing system, and I'm trying to say that it's a little bit better than the LLMs, because the LLMs, you can't like really. I mean, you could click Canvas. There's a way that you can click Canvas, and then you can go in there and you can do some editing. But it's not, I think that it's not quite as good as this. Then the next point is that, well, if you're actually going to like provide some real value, then you need to show me also how your tool can help me get through this. You have your scorecard. So we chose a topic, and then we're going to search for posts using the Scout, and then we're going to use the short videos to search on Google. Then we're going to decide if we need Gemini to research. Then we're going to plug in the Cubic Connect engine, and then we're going to export the recipe. All right, so here we are. We're on exporting the recipe. So like I said, we got to do two things. First, we need to define the numbers you want to achieve your potential goal. So I think that the goal number 2 is probably to goal number 2 is improve the output of Cubic Connect and how do I do that? The first way is be able to X text output boxes. That's a feature. Okay, then what? See, the major issue here is that when you're inside of the process, okay, so we can, let's say we can click this, we can X this, we can X this, we can make it delete. And then we're going to copy the markdown file. Now, after we copy the markdown file, we're going to go into Google, or we're going to go into ChatGPT or whatever. And then we have this workflow. Now, if we try to run this workflow inside of our app, then our API key, right now, we're using a free API key. And probably what might happen is that it might break. Yeah, it might break. That's true. But we don't know if it's going to break or not. So probably what's more important is for us we need to create a button. We're going to click the button, and it's going to go to the next page. It's going to bring us in another page, and then it's going to give us the link for 10 Reddit pages, which are discussing the same basic issue. And can we actually scrape the Reddit? And then we go to Reddit, and then we're gonna copy the text from the Reddit conversation, and then bring it back into our tool. Yeah, but I was doing that with Gemini. So why am I doing it with my tool if I can do it with Gemini? See, as soon as you have a manual operation, then there's no reason to keep it inside of your app, your tool. And then you're going to create your own Reddit post. You're going to repurpose the post. I can do all of this in Gemini. Okay, so that means that we're only going to do enhancement. That's it. We're just going to put the text box in the output box. Goal number 2 is begin creating the Qubit Connect performance. I mean, to do, I don't know what's better, performance or to do. I think to do is more clear because everybody knows what a to-do list is. To do. Okay. Now today is supposed to be the day for AI video. So the question is, how do we get where we are right now to where we need to be in the next 15 minutes? We got 15 minutes. We literally have 15 minutes, and I need to be able to create all of this output in 15 minutes. Okay. So do we choose a topic? Yes. Do we search for posts using the Scout? I mean, we already have the post. So can we export the recipe? Okay, so then the question is, which one do you want? Do you want to do the 6-word story, or do you want to do the thing that the girl was talking about? Let's do the 6-word story. Now we're back to the original question, which is, which one is better? Is the one in here better, or the one that I pasted into Google better? Well, I can't delete this. I don't really want this here. I want to delete this one. So, okay, discover how to articulate your personal goals or values clearly, concisely. Okay, let's try this one. Okay, reflect on your core values. Identify a unique solution approach to embody your skills. Combine your identified problem, goal, solution in concise draft statement, aiming for the structure that clearly expresses the result impact you want to create. Okay. Learn the framework. It's going to be about basically the same. Clearly identify a specific problem your personal statement addresses. Reference examples most designers don't understand. Articulate your unique solution. That identified problem, drawing inspiration from how I teach marketing or 1000 songs serves as a solution in the context. Define the desired outcome. Craft your draft. Practice creating straightforward statements about how you face the challenge you face. Comment. All right, so let's copy the markdown file. I think that's good enough. Let's jump into this one. Okay, which version is better, the above text or this text? Now, I just wanted to do this just to make sure that we get the copy of the Qubit Connect version. It's fun. Since we're looking at it with a skeptical eye for accuracy, clean transcript version was significantly better, despite being formatted. Here's the breakdown. The fails accuracy test, even though it looks cleaner. Contextual. Most glaring issue with the Qubit version is that it completely changes the subject matter of the source text. Originally, explicitly discussed business one-liner to drive sales on the landing pages. Okay, so this is another issue, right? So now, I need to recheck let's move this one down here. So I need to like give some examples to Gemini, and then revisit the prompt that goes through the API. Okay. Okay, so let's just keep it going, because sometimes you just gotta push. Okay, so comment on Reddit posts. Let's go to Reddit. So let's jump into here. Let's go here. Okay. All right, so basically, I want you to go into Reddit, and I want you to find some people that are discussing how to write a story, and like how to, or maybe how to write a like an Instagram bio, or how to do a business one-liner, or how to, yeah. So basically, I want to give people this idea that the 6-word story structure is the way to solve the ability for people to discuss, like try to attract attention to their product. And all right, so also, yeah, so I want you to find those, like, let's just find 5 Reddit posts, and then and I need the link for each of those Reddit posts. So what we're trying to do right now is we're trying to develop some type of consistency. If we're able to develop consistency and go through a workflow process, it's likely over time that our processes will improve, and our ability to perform on each of those steps of the process will also improve. And therefore, automatically, as we continue to do this, then that's interesting. Then yeah, there's kind of a weird thing that's been happening recently with Gemini. Those links just open a Gemini instance in a new window. Write the link out. So if it isn't opening up to the link, I can still copy and paste the link for those 5 Instagram, 5 Reddit threads. Yeah. So, yeah, all right. I would say that this whole process is making me very uncomfortable. And I'm not happy with the progress. You see, it just opens up a new Gemini instance. So that's why I asked it to do that. Bio might be trivial for some, but I want some feedback. I'm a freelance copywriter. Okay, good. This is perfect. Using the structure of the 6-word story, give me 5 interesting ideas for advice for this guy. Also, explain the concept very briefly and simply about a 6-word story. Here is the conversation. Okay, now let's get these other ones opened up. Now, I really like, it was really hard to get where we are right now. Like, completely stressed out and trying to figure out what to say. This is not fun, but what else is going to do, you know? Okay, I got those windows open. Okay, so where are we going? Let's get back into here. So, no, okay. Two sentences to explain the 6-word story, then bullets with the 6-word story for this guy only. So he went crazy here. It's like he explained it so in depth. Okay. Browsers ignore, make them buy. Your course, my words, sold out. Great product, no sales, let's fix. They read, you click, you profit. Don't just launch, sell out today. What was the actual story? I'm an Instagram bio. I'm a freelance copywriter. Copywriting is essential for online businesses to thrive. I specialize in e-commerce and info products. I don't know. The 6-word story challenge forces you to strip away fluff and deliver a complete narrative arc. Start with intrigue. Introduce conflict, and then resolve, and then resolution. Problem plus solution equals result formula. The problem plus result formula proves you can sell with brevity. The 6-word story challenge forces you. Have you tried the 6-word story challenge? Forces you to strip away fluff and deliver a complete narrative arc. Start with intrigue, introduce conflict, and then resolution. Problem, solution, result formula proves you can sell with brevity. Browsers ignore, I make them buy. Your course, my words, sold out. Great product, no sales, let's fix. They read, they click, you profit. Don't just launch, sell out today. Your comment must be longer than 6 characters. What the? Okay. Now, the thing is, we just ran out of time. Dang it. Okay, I'm gonna have to finish this one on my own. So basically, we are here. We're commenting on Reddit posts. I need to freeze this line. How do I freeze this? I don't know. Here it is. Today's Tuesday. Choose a topic. Search for posts using the Scout short video. Decide plugin. Export the recipe. Comment on Reddit posts. Okay, this is where we're at right now. All right, so what else? And then after that, I got to create the LinkedIn post, the Facebook post, and we still didn't get into the AI video. So lots of work to do. Anyways, let's just keep it going. Hopefully we'll improve over time. Thank you for joining me here in the Dumbfounder. And yeah, so anyways, I think I'll get smarter over time.